Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So, in this quick live tonight, this one is called Money is Like a Video Game. So, what is this? I'll share with you a light and a fun video game analogy. And this came to me when I was taking a walk last night. So, I just came from a walk tonight and I'm on a high, that natural high. And I just wanted to share this realization that hit me. So my background is I'm in the financial services ever since 2014. I became a certified wealth planner back in 2017. So I deal with insurance, investments, estate planning, that type. Now, let's keep it simple and fun tonight. So this one, I'll relate money to a video game. So how many of you have ever played a video game? And then how many of you have played a game, let's say called Resident Evil? So any similar type, it could be a survival type game, The Last of Us, even old school all the way back. So why Resident Evil? Resident Evil 9 Requiem just came out just 3 weeks ago. So it's March 18, 2026. The game was just released Feb 27. And ever since the game came out, the franchise, Resident Evil, the first one came out 1996. This is the era of the PlayStation 1. So the game has been, coming out with many releases over the years and not just a childhood game. So this recent one was historic, sold 5 million copies in like 5 days like that. So it's the best yet. So how do we relate this to the topic of money? So when you play the game, there's this thing called resource management or item management. So let's dive into it. Money management is actually very similar to resource management. So how do we relate? I'll walk through three simple points, three key points, and you can make this practical also in your life or in our life. So three key points. Number one, when it comes to money and resource management, number one, income. Number two, expenses. And number three, invest. So I'll relate it to the video game again. What's an example of income in a video game? So this is when you get items, right? Now, sometimes in the game, you're given them in the start. So you have a handgun, a weapon, the requiem. You have certain items in the start. A lot of times you also pick them up. So you find them or you can earn them or discover them. So, while we're on the topic of income, what's an example of that in real life when it comes to money? So, as a kid, when we're growing up, well, sometimes just like in the video game, it's given to us. It could be given to us by a parent, could be given to us by a grandparent, guardian, like whatever your provider was growing up. If you grew up in a seminary, like a priest, well, it was given by the church to you or whoever, right? So that's an example of income. So you get an item, you get a weapon, you get ammo, like that. And in real life, it's money. Number two, expenses. So in the video game, especially Resident Evil, so when you fight zombies, right, the enemies or whatever your enemy is. So sometimes we're very tempted to just use the weapon and just shoot it. So more experienced players will know that that's a very noob mistake, like a newbie mistake, because the zombies they tend to be bullet sponges, meaning you end up shooting all your ammo, wasting all of your bullets, right? And then you end up dying. So how do we relate that to money? So similarly, a kid growing up, how many of you have ever you received money, allowance, saved up, you earned it, and then you ended up spending it all. So as a kid, it could have been on a toy, could have been magic cards, basketball cards. It could have, as we grow up, shopping, right? So I got into guns when I was like legal age growing up. I got into motorcycles in my mid 20s. And then it can be anything, right? Shopee, a sale, anything, right? So that's expenses. So the key there is to use the money or your resources wisely. Now, conversely, on the opposite end, for all you saver personalities, so you could look up the video money personalities on the Real Talk Lifeline YouTube channel. So if you save too much, that can also be a bad thing. Like in Resident Evil, again, the game, there's this thing called Magnum ammo. So that's the very powerful revolver gun. And you get very few ammunition throughout the entire game. Now, some of us, we spend it all, we shoot all the ammo, use it up at once. But some of us also on the other end end up saving all that ammo, reach the final boss, and then we end up never using it. So sayang. I mean, it's like being a miser or a hoarder, right? The dark side of a saver. We save up all of these resources, but then we can't take anything when it's game over, right? We can't take it with us. So you never fully utilized it. You never got to appreciate it, or at least pass it on and make it useful, right? So, number three, what is invest when it comes to a video game? And then I'll relate it to real life. So, in a video game, you might think, okay, get ammo, use ammo or items. What is invest? So, in Resident Evil, in the game as it evolved, you can combine items. So I don't just mean like you find a healing green herb, red herb, then you combine it and it amplifies it. That's a simple example. You can get other items and they might look useless at first, gunpowder, crafting, whatever. But then you can make that resource into something very useful for you. So for real life, let's make it practical. How do you do that with money? So we do that by investing. So instead of just saving our income, handling our expenses wisely, so we got extra, we're saving up, we can put those resources to work, right? We can either combine, leverage, or amplify it. So in real life, that looks like investing that money somewhere. It could be in an investment, a bank. It could be in a mutual fund, UITF, Unit Investment Trust Fund. You can look into more modern or recent developments like REITs, real estate investment trusts, anything that will make that money grow, amplify, or become more powerful or useful. That's what investing is. So instead of just saving all those useless looking items, empty bottles, you didn't know you could turn that into like a Molotov cocktail, right? Or a powerful weapon against the liquors or something like that, the strong enemies. So your money that might look like just a seed or a tiny plant could grow into like Jack Beanstalk. All that means is that small money maybe started investing, compounding, growing over time, suddenly grew into a very large amount. So that could be in real estate. You bought a very cheap property in the province or a small condo after 10 years. It could be anything. 20 years, you bought a country club share at 1 million, let's say 20 years ago. And then now you get to sell it for 17 million. So that's a example of investing, amplifying it and leveraging it, just like the items in a video game. So money is like a video game. That's it for tonight. Thank you. I love you, and I will see you next time.